And welcome into the WECT Digital Studio, everyone. I'm John Evans, along with meteorologist Eric Davis. And the reason we're here for a short update for you is to go a little bit deeper into what Eric just talked about on our First at 4 newscast, and that is some potential wintry weather we might see next week. We're up today, sunshine, temperatures here. We're going to go up here with rain and then back down over the next couple of days, right?
Yeah, we also want to briefly cover, we got another system rolling in here on Sunday with at least a small chance of severe. We want to briefly talk about that, but I've got a few graphics on both systems just to kind of give you an update here on what we're looking at. And again, it is an active pattern ahead here. Chilly but dry if you're heading out tonight. Obviously, make sure you grab a coat if you're heading out on a date night with your sweetheart. Of course, the spring-like storms we mentioned on Sunday, and then, of course, the winter storm. That's going to be moving in here by the middle of next week, Wednesday, Thursday time frame in terms of the winter storm. Now, there is at least a low-end marginal severe weather risk. We want to mention this on Sunday. Probably late morning, early afternoon is going to be the time frame. And notice there is a small risk of a few storms with some marginally strong winds, maybe 50, 55 mile per hour wind gusts, and the possibility of at least a few storms with some heavy rain. So just be mindful of that as you're going to be out and about on a Sunday. And of course, we can time this out with our hour-by-hour forecast model. Again, even tomorrow, we've got the potential of a few showers kind of passing to the north. Notice we're back in the mild air tomorrow. Temperatures are in the 60s. We've got southerly winds, most of the significant rain kind of passing us by to the north. But tomorrow evening, the potential for a few showers and storms. Look how mild it is. Temperatures probably staying in the 60s. And when you wake up on Sunday morning, you can watch the storms approaching. That's probably the main batch of storms right there around noontime on Sunday, the one that's most likely to produce maybe a gusty wind or maybe a severe thunderstorm cell, and probably off the coast here as we head into Sunday afternoon. Of course, we need precipitation. We've been talking about the drought situation. With the first system on Sunday, maybe about a ½ inch of rain, but notice even heavier precipitation between the two systems Sunday and the system that we're going to see on Wednesday and Thursday. Hopefully, much of the area 1 to 2 inches of precipitation.
Now, it's a timing thing again, like we had back in January. Cold weather, and will we have the precipitation at the same time?
Right, and unfortunately, if you're a fan of winter weather, it's not as likely things are going to sync up this time. So we're thinking that, for the most part, we're looking at a cold rain event here in southeastern North Carolina. Again, this is a kind of a comparison of two of our models here. This is the GFS model. It's the American model on the left and the European computer model on the right. GFS, the American model, not really bullish at all. It keeps most of this wintry precipitation more up into central North Carolina. You can see maybe some wintry mix in places like Raleigh.
And that's the pink we're looking at here, right? The green is just rain, the pink, and then the bluish white. That's what we're looking at as far as a mix of precipitation and then the snow, right?
Right, exactly. And exactly. Snow is going to be the purple and the white color. A little more bullish on the European computer model. It looks like there's a chance maybe some colder air does try to get in here. So maybe if you're along the I-95 corridor, especially maybe Thursday morning, there might be a very brief period of freezing rain and sleet. But even with this model, I think we're still looking at primarily a cold rain event. This is just not as good a setup for snow and wintry precipitation. And again, if we run the models through here, you can see the GFS model. Again, the light blue line, that's the freezing line. Notice it really doesn't come anywhere close to us during the day on Wednesday. In fact, temperatures are probably in the 40s and 50s for much of the day. And by the time the cold air finally gets here, probably late Thursday into Friday, precipitation is mostly gone. Again, maybe a very brief shot if we're lucky of something, but not sure that's going to really pan out. European computer model does show some colder air. And we could be talking, if the European model plays out, we could be talking about significant icing and wintry precipitation across central and western North Carolina. But here in southeastern North Carolina, even here, it was primarily rain for us. So again, setup's just not as good as it was in January. You can see by the time the freezing line finally gets here, it's not really, we're not really talking about significant precipitation. Again, this is the European computer model. Does show some snow for Raleigh, Charlotte, and points to the northwest. None for us. Icing, little better chance that we do deal with some wintry mix here. Again, the European computer model a little more bullish with the cold air, but even if it plays out, it would show significant icing maybe up towards Raleigh, maybe over back towards Charlotte, but even for us, not as good of odds in terms of the wintry precipitation.
And you're talking about that freezing. We're going to see it basically Thursday. We're not going to get above 40, but we're going to be above freezing Wednesday all the way through Thursday until overnight Thursday into Friday. And by that time, all the rain is gone.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It just looks like 90, even if the best case scenario plays out, we're probably looking at a 90 to 95% rain event with this one. Significant rain to be sure, which is good news. We need to make a dent in the drought. out. But notice Wednesday night, 37 is our overnight low. Some leftover showers on Friday, 46 is our high. Now, again, we may see some adjustments in this forecast over the weekend, but we get the really cold air in here. Look at that, 22 degrees by Friday morning, but by that time, the rain is long, or precipitation is long gone.
Okay, so that covers what we wanted to come on and talk about, the chance of snow or wintry precipitation. But again, as you mentioned, Eric, Sunday, first alert. Wednesday, first alert tags because of the potential of some gusty storms and a lot of rain, right?
Yeah, the gusty storms, of course, on Sunday, and then probably mainly a cold rain for Wednesday into Thursday, but we're first alerting just in case, say, maybe along the I-95 corridor, we get a brief period, maybe a little bit of freezing rain or sleet.
And the first alert weather team, they get runs of models every, 6-8 hours?
Oh, yes.
The models are coming into the First Alert Weather Center. So they'll have a better idea of this as they go through the weekend, and you'll have a much better pinpoint Monday or Tuesday. But at this point in time, it looks like more of a rain event, a little bit more to our north, the possibility of a mix maybe of what we might see.
Right. I definitely think the real potential for significant winter storm, places like Raleigh, Charlotte, and then especially as you get back into other parts of the state, it's just not looking that good here in southeastern North Carolina this time around.
Okay. Meteorologist Eric Davis in the WECT Digital Studio. We're going to be back at the top of the hour on WECT News at 5. Of course, if anything changes in the forecast, make sure you look for him, Gabe, Ella, or Gannon, and they'll bring you updates on what you need to know. Download the WECT weather app, too. Always good, not only to track the storms this weekend, but also to get the updates on the forecast as we get closer to those winter storms next week. For Eric Davis, I'm John Evans. Thanks so much for watching.